Welcome to morning yoga. Find a seat on your mat, someplace comfortable. We'll start cross-legged, then we're going to move really quickly to child's pose with wide knees. So if you want to start there, go ahead. Go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose. Let your chest and belly fill up with air, and on the exhale, let the breath move you. So you'll probably feel yourself settle down. This practice is going to be all about getting grounded. So nice deep inhale through the nose, lift up tall, feel everything expand, and on the exhale, let that exhale breath move you down. Feel it in your shoulders, feel it start to relax your legs and your thighs. One more. Exhale out the nose, relax. And now on the inhales, you're going to sit up. And we'll keep sitting up tall, but we'll still let the exhales relax, come down the back, draw the shoulders down, feel heavy in the hips, thighs, and knees. We'll just keep up those nice breaths that are moving our ribs, moving your chest, and subtly moving your whole spine. And then start to notice everything that's touching the ground. We want to feel really supported. Today is all about grounding yourself. You feeling grounded, you noticing how you're grounded, how you're supported by the earth underneath you, and that's all coming from inside yourself. So take note, a little scan of everything that's supported by the ground right now. And let that feel really comforting. It's kind of generating some thoughts really gently in our mind here about how we can feel supported just through our own means. And we're going to move into child's pose, but I'm going to invite you to find your hands on the mat first and then pick your hips off the ground so that we're staying connected to the earth. Bring the knees wide, big toes come to touch, send the hips more. Nice deep inhale through the nose, exhale out the nose. Bring the forehead to the mat. Smooth inhales and exhales. Feel your ribs expand just like we did in seated pose. And then try to level out the breath. Smooth it out. Again, letting the shoulders drop down the back on the exhales. Let your hips sink heavy. And again, scanning, noticing everything that's touching and supported by the earth. From your fingertips, your forearms, elbows, knees, parts of your shins, tops of your feet, big toes and toenails on your toes. Take 3 nice deep breaths here. Notice how firmly you are planted against the floor. The floor is pushing back on you, holding you up and supporting you. We're going to come onto our knees, go ahead and look forward at your fingertips, keeping your forearms planted on the ground. We'll come up onto the knees and then put the knees in line with the elbows. Okay, so take a breath here. Just notice this is just like table, except we're on our forearms. And then curl the toes under. We'll hover the knees just about an inch off the floor for 3 full breaths. Get a little more supported by pulling your belly button up into your ribs. Dome your back so your shoulders are supported. 1 more breath here. Exhale, lower to the knees. Keeping the forearms really grounded. Send your toes to the back of the mat. We'll come into forearm plank. Drop your hips a little bit lower towards the mat. Pull the belly button back up and then push into the mat as the mat is pushing into you. Dome the back between the shoulder blades. 2 more breaths here. And then you're going to love this. Then we're going to start to send the hips to the sky and walk the toes forward. So a little dolphin pose. Gaze goes up towards the thumbs and fingertips. Don't crunch your neck trying to get there. And if you can, bring your toes in a little closer, send the hips a little higher to the sky. 2 more breaths here. It's a really strengthening pose. Feel firm and strong and supported by the ground. We'll come back onto knees. And then we'll push ourselves back onto our heels. So we're sitting on our knees. Awesome. That's a really good stretch on the shoulders. Maybe roll the shoulders back and forth, up and down in circles. And then let's just take a couple circles with the neck. Use the nose as a guide so we're not crunching the neck. So a couple circles one way and then the other, just checking in with our range of motion. Nice deep inhales and exhales. And come just to center, and we'll take both arms out in front. We're going to take eagle arms, so take the right arm underneath first, and we'll wrap eagle arms here, sending the elbows away from the face, lifting up a little bit. Inhale, go ahead and gaze goes up at the fingertips. Again, careful of the neck. And then exhale, keeping the elbows right where they are. Exhale. Bring your chin into your chest really slowly and gently, enjoying this stretch. You should feel this along the neck, across the shoulder blades. Keep actively reaching the elbows forward. One more breath. Unwind the arms. Let's shake it out. Take it to the other side. This time, left arm goes underneath. Make the wrap. Inhale, lift the elbows. Send the elbows away from the face. Gaze goes up at the fingertips, gentle on the neck. One breath here. Then exhale, slowly tip the chin into the chest, keeping everything else right where it is. 2 more breaths here. Let's unwrap and shake it out. And come onto hands and knees. And let's take C shape. So bump the hips to the right and the gaze over the left shoulder. 2 breaths here, holding this nice deep C shape. Maybe each exhale you get a little deeper into it. Inhale back to center, take it to the other side. Hips go left, gaze goes over the right shoulder. Nice deep inhales. Feel the lungs fill and compress. Inhale back to center. Let's take a cow belly. So belly drops to the ground, tail and chin reach towards the ceiling. Gentle gaze. Take 2 breaths here. You can spread the fingers wide and feel supported by the mat. And then curl the chin into the chest, curl the tail under, middle of the back to the ceiling. 2 breaths here. Look at your knees or your thighs. Feeling that stretch in the neck with this. Feels pretty good. Come back to neutral and curl the tail under. Send the hips to the sky. Pedal this out, bending into one knee and then the other. Heels are coming towards the floor. That's just a direction. And then find some stillness here. A few breaths pushing away from the ground. Feet as firmly planted as possible. Still you're supported by the ground here. Let that give you some strength and calmness. All right, a little more in the upper shoulders here. Let's go ahead and lift the right leg to the sky. And then we're going to bring the knee to the right elbow. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Either 2 more just like that, or inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. We'll hold it for 3 breaths, trying to kick your heel into your bum. Pull the belly button up. 1 more breath. Inhale, straighten the leg. Bring the right foot to the ground. Pedal it out. If you need to come to hands and knees, go ahead and do that. We're going to do the same thing on the left leg. So we're getting those good crunches in and the core work done, and this is so strengthening for your upper back. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Kind of leaning forward in plank. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen, and either 2 more just like that, or exhale, knee to elbow, hold 3 breaths. Bring the heel up into the butt. Pull the belly button up to the spine. 1 more. Inhale, lift the leg. Set it down. Pedal it out. Come to table if you will. If not, stay right here with me. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, bring the foot between the hand. Come onto the left knee. Uncurl the back toe so as much of your back leg is touching the ground as possible. Nice firm front foot. And here let's just rock forward and backward. Straightening the knee and then bending into it again, trying to keep that right foot flat for now. Be gentle. And trying to bring the hips straight back. That's a challenge for me. Maybe you put a little bit of distance between your right foot and your left knee. And then we'll send the right toes to the ceiling and bring the hands back so we can take this runner stretch. Flat back first. Lengthen the spine, and that exhale, curl the chin into the chest. 2 breaths here, feeling that stretch in the back of the leg, but you're still super supported by what is touching the ground. Roll the right foot to the ground. Left hand comes to the mat, right hand to the sky. Gaze goes up, and let's take 1 big circle with the hand. So reaching forward, and then lifting the arm back to the sky. Go ahead and curl the left toes under, come off that knee for a little deeper stretch. Inhale, twist a little bit deeper. Bring the right hand down and we'll step it back to down dog. Pedal it out. Take a couple breaths here if you want to come onto the hands or onto the knees so you can get off the hands a little bit. That is a great transition. Inhale, lift the left leg to the sky. Exhale, bring the left foot between the hands. Come onto the right knee. Uncurl the toe. And we take those rocking backward and forward. Being really supported with your hands on the ground. So don't worry so much about the range of motion of this left leg as you straighten and bend. Maybe 1 more, and then we'll come into that runner's stretch. Bring the hands back towards the knees. Gaze goes out first. Lift those toes to the sky. And then exhale, curl in. Really settling into that stretch in the back of the left leg. Go ahead and fire the breath up in your ears, because a nice deep exhale that you can hear in the back of your throat can be really grounding too. Make you feel really strong and supported. All right, rock those toes forward, right hand to the ground, left hand to the sky. Take 1 circle swim with that left hand forward, around, back up. Curl the right toes under, pop off the back knee, and let's just get a little bit deeper stretch. Maybe lunge or dive a little deeper into the lunge. Bring the left hand down. We'll step the left toes back. Come back into child's pose. Knees close together or wide as we were starting. Bring the forearms back down, forehead to the ground. 3 deep breaths here. Find your smooth inhale and exhale. Let your belly and your lungs fill up on the inhale and feel them compress against your thighs on the exhale. And then very kindly, you're going to transition to down dog. So peeling off the mat, being really aware of what's coming off of the mat. Curl the toes under, hips to the sky. We're going to look forward and take 1 foot outside the right hand and 1 foot outside the left hand. I think you can figure out which foot works best for that. Coming into yogic squat. So you could be up on your toes or you could be down on your heels, kind of working to get the toes straighter towards the front edge of the mat.
Wherever you're at, feel supported. Maybe that means hands on the ground. Or if you're okay with it, bring your hands into prayer. And we're just going to focus on nice deep inhales and exhales here. Inhales, lift up a little taller. Exhales, sit the hips back. Trying to straighten the spine. It's all just a matter of spaces to work. No, there's no perfect way. 2 more breaths here. After the last exhale, bring your hands to the mat. We'll send the hips to the sky, toes point forward. Go ahead and bring the toes in a little bit, but leave 6 to 8 inches between the feet. Inhale, half lift to get a nice flat back. And then pull the belly button up into the spine and forward fold. Let's take a couple breaths here. Maybe bend your knees generously. And on your next inhale, we'll sweep the arms up, around, overhead. Bring the palms together to kiss and then slide the hands through heart center in prayer. Nice. Couple breaths here. Now just noticing we're standing, so we've only got the feet on the ground. We've got a little space in between, and you should feel really strong and steady here. So feel into all 4 corners of the feet. On an inhale, bring your arms up overhead. We'll make this volcano pose, so hands are a little ways away from each other. Not superstar, but volcano. Take a side bend to the right. Inhale back to center. Side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, slice it right down the middle, forward fold. We'll take an inhale to half lift, flat back. And then forward fold, bring the hands together, or I guess this is hold on to the opposite wrists, elbows, and rock it back and forth. Little bend in the knees. Drop the chin into the chest. 1 more breath here. You could stay here and enjoy this forward fold or find some stillness. And we're going to come into a balancing posture. So we're going to stay grounded, but we're going to move to only 1 foot on the ground. So right hand comes to the right corner of the mat. Oh, let's do this. Left toes come to the back of the mat. Let's go ahead and lift those up. So you're in a standing, 1-legged forward fold or a grounded airplane. Come up onto your fingertips. Bring the right fingers to the right corner of the mat. And then we'll start to stack the hips on top of one another. So here's a starting spot. It's pretty balancy. If you want to take it a little further into this half moon, we'll lift the left arm, maybe to the hip. Spin the gaze up over the shoulder. Flex that left foot. Maybe this is enough balance for you and you've got some time to lower the foot and raise the foot. Or send the right fingertips to the sky. We'll stack the shoulders, stack the hips. We're here for a few breaths in half moon. Really finding a lot of energy in the left foot, spreading the fingers on the left hand, and feel really supported in the right foot. Little bend in the knee, and you're up on the fingertips, or you might start to lift off the fingertips. Lots of places to play. All right, let's bring the left hand down, square the hips to the mat, and bring the left foot down to meet the right. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swoop the arms around and up overhead. Find the fingertips together, slide them through heart center. Stay right where you're at. I'm just going to flip so I'm on the other side. On an inhale, arms come up. Volcano pose. A little bit of space between your feet still. Take a side bend right. Inhale to center, side bend left. Inhale to center, hands come together, slide them right through heart center all the way down to forward fold. Inhale, find your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, rock it back and forth. 3 breaths here. Option is to stay right here in your forward fold. This is great for the low back. You're nice and supported. You're getting that inversion. For a little balance, bring the fingertips to the ground. feel like I'm going to do the same foot again. Bring the left toes behind. Oh, right toes behind. I'll be on the same foot. And then we'll start to open up to the right side. So start by stacking the hips. Bring the right hand to the waist. And then start to stack the shoulders. Flex the right foot. When you're ready, right hand goes to the sky. Come up onto the left fingertips. Play around with the gaze. That makes it more balancy. A little bit of bend into the left knee. Nice and supported in that left foot. Maybe play around with coming off the left fingertips. Long neck. One more breath. Then we'll bring the right hand down. Square the hips to the floor. Bring the right foot down to meet the left. And from here, we're going to send the hips way back, way back, way back, just so we can come into a seat with the legs out long. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze goes out towards the horizon first, and then bring the chin into the chest. We're here for a few breaths. So again, notice everything that's touching the mat. You're back down on the ground. Come back to that inhale and exhale. And notice how you're supported by your heels, back of your calves, back of the thighs, sits bones. Enjoy the feeling of being really supported by the earth underneath you. 2 more breaths. Inhale up to a seat. And from here, we're just going to roll onto our backs. The way that we can have the most surface area on the ground. Heels, let's go ahead and bring the knees into the belly first. A little rock side to side. We did a lot of work on the upper back. And some of that half moon, that can be tough on the lower back. So a little massage back and forth here. And then we'll let one leg go long and then the other. Bringing the hands either palms up out to the side, or for this grounding practice, they could come on the hips, just really gently as a reminder that you are firmly planted right here, fully supported, and then try to relax. Let the ankles relax. Bring the shoulders under the back so you can really feel your back flat against the ground, those upper shoulders. Come back to that smooth inhale and exhale. Feeling the ribs expand and compress with each breath. For these last few breaths, bring your hands to your heart, one on top of the other. Close your eyes and imagine something, not imagine, bring to mind something that you're very grateful for about yourself. Maybe it's that you showed up on your mat and you trusted this practice and you found some comfort in grounding yourself. Recognizing that all comes from within you and you don't have to look anywhere else for it. I'm going to invite you to stay right here if you'd like to. This would be really great for your brain, a really great break for your body, mind, and soul. Or if you're done for this morning, go ahead and join me in a seat. And we'll just close out together. Maybe 3 breaths just to scan your body. Notice how even though we're not all planted against the floor anymore, you're still really supported here. And hopefully that brings you some calmness that you can take off your mat for the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you have a wonderful